My students do not have art supplies at home while they're doing remote learning at home, and we're teaching from home. So I got permission from my school district superintendent to go to the dollar store last Friday, which was Friday the 20th of March. We didn't have any COVID-19 in Kalispell at that time, and I went over to Kalispell to the dollar store, and I picked up all of these art supplies. So for $196 and change, which was just under the $200 budget my superintendent gave me, thank you, superintendent, I got enough markers, watercolor trays, erasers, pencils, watercolor brushes, although I'm going to stop and do a little public service announcement on the watercolor brushes. Do you see these watercolor brushes? They are the worst watercolor brushes in the world, but they came like 6 in a pack at the dollar store. They are some kind of absorbent, real, natural hair, but they are not Kolinsky sable, and the fair rules are just cheap. I mean, look at how the bristles are already coming out. Now, my philosophy on this is we're throwing this together so fast. So it's like beggars can't be choosers, and we're going to use these. But I'm going to encourage my students to try and get a better watercolor brush when we get to that unit. Glue sticks, scissors, and I got extra colored pencils. I already had enough colored pencils for every student. They all have their own packs down here in these Ziploc bags. I did this because I had kids who would pilfer the boxes, the communal boxes of colored pencils. I store them, like all the reds in a box, all the blues in a box, and so on and so on. And they would pilfer the best ones and leave the stubs for the latecomers. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm just going to give everybody their own colored pencil box. So that's what I did. So what we're doing here, me and my handy assistant, wave Jonathan, this is my husband. He's the custodian in the elementary school, and he's off with pay until Friday because there's no teachers or students in the school. When the school shut down, he disinfected the whole building and then ran out of stuff to do. So the superintendent sent all the custodial staff home. He'll be back to work full time next week because there will be stuff to do in the building over there. But meanwhile, he is my assistant. He's going to help me put a set of all of these art supplies in an envelope with a kid's name on it. We're going to start with by going, so like here I have a student named Conrad. We'll put his name on this envelope. We'll start with his pack of colored pencils, and then we'll add one of each of everything else. And then we'll put all of these packs in a box in the main office for the kids to pick up and take home so that they can do art projects at home. If you are at all able to send art supplies home with your students, I highly recommend it. And like I said, this is enough art supplies for each of my students to have their own art supply kit. I have 65 students, and it only costs $196.20 at the dollar store. If you don't have, and the dollar store that I used was Dollar Tree. So you can order online from Dollar Tree, and you can have it shipped to you. Some things they only ship to the store, but you can always call and ask what they'll ship to the store and what they'll ship directly to you. And if they ship it to the store, you can specify which store you want it to go to. And that's way better than, now that we have COVID-19 everywhere, wandering around the store with a whole bunch of other people who are wandering around the store. So anyway, there's your hot tip on how to get art supplies to your kids at home during remote education delivery. And I'll come back after I have all the little packs created.